Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the Pilot Lawyer Podcast. Thank you for your attention while this important legal information is reviewed. What you hear should not replace consultation with an attorney and should not be considered advice for your situation. On behalf of the Pilot Lawyer and your entire crew, it's our pleasure to have you aboard.
A warm welcome back, aviators, to the Pilot Lawyer Podcast with us, the Ison brothers from the Ison Law Firm. We're here to navigate pilots and those who want to become pilots through the FAA medical certification process. FAA medical certification can be a challenging and frustrating process. But as we say around the office, if you don't laugh, you cry. So whether you're laughing at us or with us, join us brothers as we loosen our ties and discuss the ever-changing world of FAA medical certification. Okay.
Well,
we're
since
back from the buffet series.
It's been a while since we've done a podcast.
I think I've seen it was like April.
I lost about 35 pounds since then. And
surprisingly,
hopefully,
though,
I don't gain it all back before we do the next podcast.
That's just delightfully droll. Now I got some good news for you, listener. Our book is, it's about to come out.
It's on the presses.
The book is on the press, as you said. It's been laid out, like your clothes the night before. I really don't know what the point of the layout is, other than just for us to make sure one more time that we really want to say these things. And
I said the words.
Yes, we said them, and then we got the cover. The cover looks pretty nice.
Yes, sir. Sir.
You're gonna really like that book. Now it's selling for $19.95. Curious. Wouldn't it be curious?
Seems a bit
Would it be
ostentatious?
interesting if the book put us at our own book put us at a bit like people? I don't need to call those clowns for a consultation. I'll just read the book. Let me tell you,
If the podcast hasn't put us out of business.
Yeah, the book is par down from what you get from a consult. That's all I'm trying to say. So don't let the book.
It's a field guide.
You're in a pinch.
You're in a pinch.
Yeah.
Yes.
You need some light reading material while you're sitting down.
Some place of porcelain. Maybe.
Hey, that's the thing. We should put those in the bathrooms of every FBO across America.
I love to hear it.
Yes.
That should become our job. And
Stall to stall across America.
Yeah. Our names and numbers are already there. So
maybe yours.
Okay.
So that was that.
So the book
is going to come out, and I'd appreciate you're considering it for some light reading material. I don't know if we're allowed to push it here on the podcast or anywhere else.
Why wouldn't we? I mean,
it's our book. I got it. My name's at the top.
Yeah, but it's ASI's property.
It's curious. They must listen to the podcast and know that we rib Alex about being useless because
very bottom.
The publisher put his name at the very bottom, and it would be alphabetical. So ANTHONY. Anyway,
I would be first.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but they went you, me, then Alex. So clearly they weren't doing an alphabetical.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Level of importance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they must have known who wrote.
It's always good to be
acknowledged
right in the middle.
for nothing. Just kidding.
Anyhow.
So $19.95. I mean, that's like a cheeseburger these days. So
Five Guys burgers and fries.
I think that'll be a fair price. Now, what is a best-selling author?
It's not you.
Yeah. Well, look it up, Alex, because everybody's a best-selling author. Best-selling author.
Maybe categorically, as far as FAA medical certification,
I'll be a
self-help.
We could be a
we could probably fit that niche.
So, can we start identifying ourselves as backed by the best?
Well, you'd have to first sell one, which we haven't yet done.
We haven't even finalized it.
It's not even off the presses.
Best-selling author is generally defined as an author who has had at least one book appear on a recognized industry bestseller list. So there's potential.
Can we make our own list?
Are you industry recognized?
I don't know. Am I? I was able to write the book.
We not to toot our own
industry recognizes me, that's for sure.
This industry, I mean, there wasn't really a medical certification firm until you came along.
There were some that dabbled.
They dabbled, but were they primarily? I mean, we were told when we first had this idea back in
the year
2015,
the year of our Lord.
You just say 15.
Whatever. that by some of the more,
when
seasoned attorneys that you can't make a living off of medical certification.
And it's not that we're making it. Don't be afraid to buy the book or call because you think we're making a living doing this, right? And we're
providing for our families or something ostentatious like that.
The direct quote was,
"Hey, you just leave that to the doctors." Again,
seasoned.
See if again. Just leave that to the doctors.
If you can't tell, that was a quote from Winter Haven.
Anyhow.
So there's that.
Anyhow, there's the book. Now, by this point, we've lost the listener.
I don't know why you're still listening. I don't know why you would read the book. I don't know why you'd call us. But
we were going to talk about updates to therapy for pilots and ATC.
Such an interesting thing. It's as though the FAA is trying to put us
out of business.
I met with a doctor. I was at a conference. Alex was with me, and I met with a doctor. I stood in line.
Whenever you get the one, you get the other.
Yeah, pretty much.
You weren't there because you're sick, so it would have been all three of us. So we were standing in line to talk to this doctor at that works for the FAA, and finally got up there, and you were talking to him. Yeah, our goal here is to put you boys out of business. And it was obviously taken as, we're going to try to do so much better and streamline this to where people won't need you. But then, of course, yeah, good luck. But I'm sure you could put us out of business with a stroke of a pen. But that being said, I began wondering, why they want to put us out of business? And then I began frantically wondering if there really was something playing, like they knew something about me. This old boy's about to write a book. It's going to be fraught with error.
He doesn't get it.
He doesn't.
The interesting thing is, we wrote the book before they did the updates to therapy for pilots. The book's already out of date.
Well, I tried to speak in generalities in the book, as you may recall, when you
proofed it.
Glanced at your name on the cover. Okay.
I barely did that.
Speaking of being worried about things, let's talk about therapy. So updated, I like how they say updated 5/27/2026. It really went into its inception 5/27/2026. We got a change to the AME guidelines. Therapy, it's labeled therapy, psychotherapy, and counseling, FAQs for pilots and ATCS. Now, isn't psychotherapy, that word, isn't that like a little bit insulting?
Yeah,
psychotherapist. I mean, couldn't they have come up with something different? I guess psychological.
Well,
pick up the origins of the word, please.
What about
Alex?
mental health therapy? I mean,
mind therapy. That would have been better. Mind therapy, brain therapy, thought therapy. But we had to go psychotherapy.
Well, the psychology.
I already said that.
Yeah, I'm just abbreviating.
Yeah. I understand.
Psychological therapy. It's just too much of a mouthful. Psychological therapy.
What are you? I'm a psychological therapist. But you're already saying therapy. So, because the title of this is therapy, psychotherapy, and counseling. Which then begs the question, what's the difference that the listener might be interested in? If you got the origins of that word, I think on the Joe Rogan podcast, he says to the little guy, I need this video, and it's up.
I'm working on it, okay? You ain't got a Joe Rogan budget, okay?
You don't have the budget,
the body.
Or the
mental fortitude.
I certainly can't get the guests. The people I had to talk to were just the people that I'm talking to, the people that ghost authored my book. And the only reason they're ghost authors was because they were nowhere to be found while writing the book. It's so crazy. Okay, go ahead.
It came about in the 19th century, 1853 to be exact, by Walter Cooper Tindy. He used the term psychotherapia in 1853 to describe healing through mental influence. And it actually, it's actually kind of interesting because it,
Oh, Lord. That crap.
treatments such as hypnotic suggestion,
I never
moral treatment, and persuasion rather than modern psychoanalysis.
I never thought of it as, mental persuasion until you just it makes sense. I mean, it just
They're trying to trick you. They're trying to trick you into not thinking about things.
That's really kind of
Interesting
something.
thing.
I've got such a way with words and thought that I can.
You could be a mind tricker. You could be a dindy. Okay. So anyhow, where were we? Previously, therapy was such a taboo thing with pilots, air traffic control pilot.
It still is.
Still is. Everybody's afraid. Well, hey, if I go get the care I need, I'm going to lose my job and lose my pension and everything else, which is reasonable because a reasonable concern. Because that is pretty much what was happening. You could go to the therapist, you get diagnosed with anything. You're not in control of what you're diagnosed with. You could inform the therapist that, hey, I'm a pilot, and it's going to be a problem if I'm diagnosed with X, Y, and Z. But that never really factors in. You're still just going to get the diagnosis of what it is. And so people were afraid if I go there, do this, get the help I need, and I identify. On my application, I have this diagnosis. The FAA finds out about it. My AME won't issue the medical. They'll want to get into my deep, dark secrets. All these things that I've been concerned about, discussing with the therapist. I'm going to lose my medical. Won't be able to get my medical back unless I do X, Y, and Z. Start, medication or otherwise. So it's been a problem. But long about May 27th, 2026, they said, you know what? Let's see if we can't clarify a few things. So they published the new guidelines, and they have published the guidelines in the form of questions. It's like they knew we would be reviewing it in a podcast format. So question number 1 is, can pilots and ATCS seek therapy? Go ahead, Christopher. Can you answer that one?
Absolutely. You not only could you seek it, you're probably encouraged to seek it if you are suffering from a mental health concern. I mean,
the question is right here. The question, and I'm asking you. I'm trying to elicit the answer.
And if you look under the top scrap of paper, you would see that you have the same document.
You've already got the document.
I was wondering I was so not ill thought of to not be given anything in here.
Yeah, you got a whole
I got
bag.
one, Randy.
Yeah. So the answer to the question is yes. Many aviators benefit from therapy at different points in their careers. All are encouraged to seek help early before conditions get severe. I didn't even see this. I was just shooting from the cuff. And lo and behold, I got it. I almost said it verbatim. Therapy may help with anxiety or mood symptoms, life transitions, personal development and resilience. Looking at you, Anthony. Relationship challenges and stress management.
Stress management. Okay.
Never heard of it.
It may help with that, but you think that's it's a curious thing? Like, is it limited to those types of issues that?
It's kind of dumb though. Can pilots and ATCS seek therapy? I mean, well, yeah, duh.
Yes,
you can. I mean, who's stopping you?
Yeah, the question.
I mean, it's like, they're so powerful at the FAA that we're going to preclude you from being able to get the help you need. Like, what? But we're going to authorize it. That's okay. Fine.
It's condescending.
Yeah. There you go. That's the word.
Okay, go ahead. So you can.
I'm going to come to the FAA for all my.
Part of it too is like, okay, this is a list of symptoms. These aren't diagnoses. So when you go in there with anxiety and they diagnose you with major depression, severe, right? I mean, well, what are you supposed to do with it then?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like they should identify, is this an exhaustive list or what is this?
Now here's I'm going to skip down here. Must I report to the FAA immediately?
Well, the first, why are we skipping?
I don't know. This just really caught my attention.
Well, it'll be something that dangles there for the listener.
All right, fine. Where do I start?
Where do I start?
Well,
Pilot peer support programs. Okay, whatever. Your AME or your primary care provider may recommend someone. When seeking a therapist counselor, make sure they are licensed with at least a master's degree. On your first visit, so you shouldn't go to somebody who's got a bachelor's degree and say, trick my mind.
A license, what is it? A license,
Like clinical social worker?
yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll allow it.
I think you even have to have a master's to be a licensed clinical social worker. So, I mean.
Okay, fine. And on your first visit, you should provide a copy of information for psychotherapists treating pilots and ATCS to the provider. I hate to say it, but I didn't print that out.
Fine. Moving on. Does it matter if my therapist uses the word psychotherapy or counseling?
No!
Oh, yeah.
For FAA purposes, the term therapy, psychotherapy, and counseling are equivalent. But what if I were to say the word
Psychosis.
So yeah, what if I were to come up with some other thing? Is it it's equivalent? I'm sure it is.
Now here's where
it starts to get interesting, okay?
Must I report to the FAA immediately? For pilots, no. You are not obliged to report until your next application for medical certificate. While true, to the extent that if you have a diagnosis or have or had a mental health condition of any sort, you would have to report it on the medical.
Yeah.
Question 18M.
I think
the real question is, should you ground yourself? What is actually the next question?
The next one. But I think this is a little bit... so you're not obligated to report until your next application for medical certificate.
Obligated.
Obliged. The word is obliged.
Well, obligated.
Obliged.
I'm going to call it synonymous.
You say psychotherapy, I say counseling. Okay. So if you're going along and you've got 3 years left on your medical and you need to start counseling, question is, do you have to call up the FAA and tell them? According to this document, no. It's not. You're not obligated to report to the FAA until your next application for medical certification.
Hey,
now, which point?
Oh, go ahead.
Please,
go ahead.
please.
No, it's a relevant question.
When
I
you
believe.
do report it, I mean, so it's not as though you're going to report on your next medical application, then whoop-de-doo. They're going to then they're going to assess it. So go ahead, Alex.
Okay, so now that they've given this new guidance, right? Say, I went to see a psychotherapist 2 years ago, but I did an application last year. Do I report it on the next one coming up, or do I need to amend for that last application?
Yeah. So if I didn't report one that I should have reported.
Correct.
Yeah, you didn't need to do an amendment because this just came out, number one. Number two, the policy then even still was that you should report it. So report, and amend.
Has your FAA medical certificate been denied? Are you concerned you may not be able to get a medical certificate from the FAA? Are you at risk for FAA action for failing to report your medical history appropriately? Call the pilot lawyer at 1-855-FAA-1215 to discuss your options for getting the FAA to issue your medical certificate and get you flying. We are happy to evaluate your case and discuss with you a plan for presenting your case to the AME or the FAA. Aviation law is all we do, nothing else.
So then the question becomes, must I ground myself immediately? This is where it gets wild, I think. I think this gets wild. For them
6153.
For them to say it in such generalities here. It depends. Even they don't know what 6153 requires, in my opinion. It's like, when do I know or have reason to know of a medical deficiency? But it says, it depends. Pilots must abide by 14 CFR 6153, which states in part, no person may act as pilot in command or in any other capacity as a required pilot flight crew member, while that person knows or has reason to know of any medical condition that would make the person unable to meet the requirements for the medical certificate necessary for the pilot operation. If the severity of the symptoms is enough to impair concentration, memory, emotional stability, judgment, decision-making, alertness, etc., then yes. Otherwise, no. It literally just says, otherwise, no. So it really puts the onus on the airmen to assess their situation and determine whether or not they have a condition or a diagnosis or symptoms which would make them unsafe to fly.
Are they supposed to be a qualified medical professional to assess themselves to that degree that would,
It's just a gray area.
Right, I'm thinking.
That's a gray area.
It really becomes a factual
Fact-finding mission
issue.
They're not talking here. What they have not said here is that if you've been diagnosed with X, Y, and Z, knowing that that's a disqualifying condition or blah, 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 that's what it should say as well. But they're focusing more on symptoms. So impaired concentration, memory, emotional stability, those are not things that I know are going to...
Then they circle back and say, well, this wasn't an exhaustive list.
Yeah, well,
you could still fall within 6153 and with a diagnosis. I'm sure there's an argument out there that they say, well, you were diagnosed and you should have known.
Well, sure. You should always just
regardless of your symptoms.
I mean, I think the problem is they've left the door open and they've closed it at the same time. They've opened it enough so that when you walk through, they can slam it on you.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's such a gray area that...
But then again, we got
get you coming and going if they want to.
But then again, we got this sentence. Otherwise, no. I'm gonna get that tattooed on my forehead. What's that guy?
I thought you were gonna get it on the small of your back.
There's nothing small about that.
Alrighty, so moving on.
Okay.
What are some examples of the need to immediately
we don't have enough ink,
self-ground?
sir. I should have said that earlier when we were talking about tattoo on my back. We got to call it special.
Well, you don't have to use a font.
36 font.
block justified.
Comic Sans.
That'd be more like cheek.
Otherwise, it's kind of a weird thing to have on the small of your back. You know what we forgot to mention? I'm trying to sample this, a little bit of a sizzle reel, if you will.
Yeah.
Put in an inquiry to PBS Kids.
Oh gosh.
I think there's a market there for us to have our own kids TV show.
Do that while the cops here so fast?
Called Sky Brothers, where we teach kids about airplanes. So
Turns out our one listener was the CEO for PBS.
Yes. The president?
And viewers like you. All right, so
I didn't tell listener, you can learn this with the brothers. I mentioned that the firm would be willing to somewhat fund our own program if they just give us a program.
Please go buy our book.
1995.
let's hear those examples so we can move on with this podcast. For 23 minutes into this drivel.
What are some examples of the need to immediately self-ground? Well, here are some examples. Some examples include losing control with alcohol or the use of mind-altering substances, including misusing medications.
What is losing control?
Yeah.
What? Why don't they ever mention a diagnosis? Hey, here's the diagnosis. We're going to expect you to, like, if you have substance abuse, if you're diagnosed with substance use disorder or otherwise, here's what we expect.
Here's an interesting thought. How does this semantically work? Losing control with alcohol or the use of mind-altering substances. So if I lose control, am I losing control with alcohol and losing control with mind-altering substances, or is it any use of mind-altering substances?
I know.
Technically, isn't alcohol a mind-altering substance?
And if I'm looking at it, okay, so I got to drink alcohol to the extent that I lose control with it, whatever that means.
You're on the air. Don't admit to things.
You're right. But if I use cannabis one time, a mind-altering substance, am I running afoul of that?
Well, that's a question. Misusing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a gray area. Major depression, low mood combined with difficulty doing day-to-day activities, loss of interest or pleasure in most normal activities, sleep disturbances, etc.
Anhedonia.
Yeah. So I don't even know. I mean, it could be anything.
Delusions, hallucinations, or paranoia.
Okay,
I'll give you that one.
I'll give you that one. I'll spot you that. Severe anxiety or panic attacks. Well, what's severe? Severe to one person might be severe to...
This is just a normal level of anxiety.
This is how I am. I'm just a nervous person.
I would probably say if you're having a panic attack...
Yeah, well, that's...
Breathing into the bag.
I mean, you're probably not going to want to be flying anyhow.
Yeah. And none of our little commentary is to say that we recommend shirking your obligations under 6153. We err on the side of recommending self-ground.
Yeah. Until they find...
What's the point?
Until they make a finding of eligibility.
Of running that risk. But
that's the safest thing to do. But
so safe. Rapid mood changes, difficulty regulating your emotions, or increased sensitivity to stressors or conflicts. Increased sensitivity to stressors or conflicts. What was that? I mean, I'm always sensitive to stresses and conflict. Okay. Suicidal thoughts. That one makes sense. Any other mental state or situation that significantly distracts from appropriate in-cockpit functioning, controlling, awareness, or communication. That's a very broad catch-all. So if they come along and they say, well, that could have significantly distracted from X, Y, or Z.
Prove it.
True. Then they got in big bold letters here. Self-grounding is a professional safety decision and is also viewed as a sign of good insight. Okay.
Jeez, this goes on to page 2.
Is it a professional safety decision or is it a
if you're
regulatory?
not operating in a professional capacity?
I just think they should have given us this document to look at and to critique before they published it.
Who said it you on?
Okay. Can pilots and ATCS continue therapy while maintaining FAA medical certification or clearance? Yes. Psychotherapy is compatible with both an unrestricted medical certificate and special issuance, special consideration. What's special? I guess maybe for air traffic controller. Many pilots and ATCS continue therapy or have the option of resuming therapy while on special issuance or special consideration. It's just a weird kind of circle logic there. Like you can have it, but you can't. On special issuance, you continue the therapy. But essentially, I guess what they're getting at is, can I start the therapy and expect to continue therapy and hold certification? When I report it. I guess they're trying to say yes. I think it depends on the severity of the condition, though, of course. They're not going to allow therapy for something that is, they may allow therapy, but they're not going to allow that to be the only mode of therapy in some cases. And it's also misleading to say that if you're getting therapy for bipolar disorder, for example, the condition itself is going to cause a problem.
There's something down here that is really
juicy.
Really off.
Oh, let's
Move
get
on.
to it. Let's get
hurry
to it.
up.
Does speaking with a therapist automatically create a diagnosis? No.
I think that's bold of them to... I guess
no.
automatically, but...
No. The therapist should make an assessment, which may or may not be a diagnosis. Again, you should provide a copy of information for psychotherapists treating pilots and ATCSs, the provider to assist in the determination.
If you walk in there and have an assessment and you're putting that through insurance, you're going to have some kind of diagnosis.
Not only that, though, but what are they saying here? If you're not diagnosed, you don't have to report it? I mean, is that what they're saying? Because
Yeah.
you still have to report the visit to healthcare professional, question 19. Or it's like they're trying to say, don't be afraid to go because you might not be diagnosed and you might not have to report it, but
I guess you might still if you do an application within 3 years of that visit and you visit to any healthcare provider in the last 3 years is the reasons therefor. What is a psychotherapist not a healthcare provider?
I believe it is.
Gotcha.
What if the therapist does make a diagnosis? Depending on the diagnosis. Now, they're going to get that one tattooed on them. Depending on the diagnosis, the current severity of symptoms and associated risk factors, the AME may issue the medical certificate without further FAA review or defer to the FAA. The FAA will then review the case and issue or consider special issuance or a special consideration. So, in other words, when you report this, the FAA is going to look at it. They're going to want to see the documentation to support that it is to their satisfaction. Can I use medication as well as therapy? Well, yes. For many conditions, medication with therapy is more effective than either alone. Aviators taking medication will have additional requirements.
So I think that's the whole SSRI pathway, right?
Correct.
I think the problem there is it's poorly marketed.
It's a bit dissonant.
Because the idea is that if you go on an SSRI medication, I'll be a hunky-dory, it'll be fine. That's kind of what it seems to be alluding to. But that SSRI thing, that's a pill in and of itself because no pun intended. But the problem there is that those are only conditionally approved medications if you can meet certain parameters, and if you can't meet those parameters, then the medication itself becomes disqualifying. And it's people I've talked to will be like, oh, well, I went on an SSRI. I went on an approved SSRI.
And then they don't realize.
Hang on a second.
They don't realize that all antidepressants are
disqualifying
but they're eligible for special issuance potentially if you go through those hoops, or should I say special consideration, as they're referencing here. What must be reported to the FAA regarding therapy or counseling? All visits to licensed healthcare professionals, including psychotherapists and counselors, must be reported on the MedExpress application. Educational counseling and religious counseling, unless the clergy member is also a licensed counselor, unless they're doing something where they're getting a counseling degree, need not be reported. Couples counseling need not be reported unless the aviator has been referred for individual therapy. Consultations with EAP may be excluded unless the consultation resulted in a referral for psychiatric evaluation or treatment.
I think this is wrong because, again, going back to 19, if the visit is outside of 3 years, in theory,
all visits is what it says.
You don't
here.
have to report it, right?
I mean,
where are you reporting it? I mean, unless there's a diagnosis. I mean, up here they say no, you don't have to.
Debunks that.
You don't have to report it unless there's a diagnosis. Down here they're saying, no, well now you got to tell us all about these visits. But they're kind of they're forgetting the actual prompt.
Yeah, the 3 years.
And don't you think there's going to be some kind of inquiry if you put down that you had the visit, but didn't list the diagnosis? Don't you think that's going to light you up?
I think the takeaway here is to seek out a clergyman that has no licenses whatsoever.
I think, when is this podcast going to drop? August 10th. I think August 11th there'll be a revision of this.
Hey, but here's the FAA see my this one's good. This one's good. Will the FAA see my therapy records? Usually not. Usually not. If documentation is requested, it is usually a brief summary from the therapist. I have certainly seen times where they want all the therapist records.
Yep. I mean, what?
I guess I'm stumbling into the usually yes cases. But
I mean, what?
I mean, sometimes they'll say, hey, just give us a summary letter from the therapist. Okay.
They get that, and suddenly,
well,
we're going to need all these records now.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it before. I don't think it should be considered a wholesale no on that by any means. How does the FAA?
It should say it depends.
It depends.
I mean, let's be realistic. It depends.
Yeah,
it shouldn't say usually not. It seems like they're kind of lulling you into a false sense of security.
We're not saying
they should rename this to therapy, psychotherapy, and counseling FAQs for pilots and ATCs. It depends.
Well, we're not saying not to go get the help.
Otherwise, no.
Yeah. Go get the help you need. And that's the takeaway here. But give us a call and we can see what how your situation plugs into this, right? Or give someone else a call.
It's not as cookie cutter.
Yeah, it's not. We just don't want to see people going hunky-dory into it thinking, no, there's no problems. I don't have to report anything. Well, maybe you do, and then the FAA takes issue with it.
Wasn't this self-serving for you to say that?
Yeah, it sure is. 1995, the book will be available. One more here. How does the FAA use information from therapy?
Something that could use you for.
And when therapy-related information is reviewed, the FAA focuses on diagnosis, insight, stability, current functioning, and risk factors. The FAA always looks for insight and transparency. The FAA also looks for insight and transparency from the aviator. These factors help establish that the aviator can responsibly manage their own safety. The aviator should be able to demonstrate their ability to recognize symptoms, seek appropriate help, self-assess fitness for duty on a daily basis, self-ground when necessary. I would say that, Rome wasn't built in a day. It's a good start here. It's a good start.
We could run it through the ringer a couple times.
But I think it could do some refinement. I think it's opening the door for people to more comfortably get the therapy they need. I would say the listener would probably call this episode flippant.
Well, I mean,
tree hugger.
You call it what you want. I call it.
This is unabashed.
I call it this though. Just how is this any different than what?
Already going on.
I was already going on.
Yeah, really.
What is it? What changes? What does this change?
It doesn't. Well, I'm going to go
It just gives you an idea of.
I'm going to quickly go through it here and identify what I think has changed.
He's through the
These are
first
really
page.
Nothing's changed here. It's just that they're writing it down as I see it.
I guess they're just giving you more of.
Give you more of a.
They're giving
insight
their
into
blessing. Their blessing.
Well, no, I don't. I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
just maybe giving you more insight into the process,
Yeah.
but it
I
doesn't
think
change
it's-
it.
I think
Nothing here
it's-
has changed.
Yeah. I think it's just, hey, it's kind of
The only
an
thing
appearances thing.
The only thing that's changed is for us in this idea on 6153 and how they kind of perceive it, but
Yeah.
even that's still nebulous. You know what? I'm done with this.
This episode's
Bring
done.
it in for a lane.
This episode's done. Listen, lunch is calling. You made the unfortunate decision of tuning into an episode where we
Haven't eaten lunch
We
yet.
filmed it. We filmed it at 11:52, which is right before lunch. It's actually cutting into lunch in some cultures.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So
Kind of like that belt is into your waist.
that's cutting into a lot of things. So the takeaway from all this is very important. This is very important that you remember this. The book will be coming out soon. No. Get help. Take help. Receive help. Report help. Have help. Be helped.
That doesn't
Hit the
help.
button. Hit the button.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.